Yo, this is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation, baby.
Hello everyone, welcome to Dante's Boxing Nation. This is your host, Keith. Dante gave me the opportunity to post extra content on his platform, so I'm grateful for that. Feel free to subscribe to my channel on the description box below, and while you're at it, subscribe to Dante's Cooking and Travel Nation, and let's get straight to it. So PBC announced that Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman is official for July 20th. It's a doubleheader. This is an exciting fight, a 50-50 fight, which I favor Keith Thurman. But if it's the Keith Thurman that showed up in the Lopez fight, then it's definitely a 50-50 fight. But if that's what Pacquiao looking at, and he goes in the fight with that mindset, waiting for that moment where he land a big left, he might go to sleep again, just like he did with a Marquez fight. Because at the end of the day, Keith Thurman do have and still has good timing, and he does very well versus southpaws. And Keith Thurman got good ring IQ and good footwork, which should give Pacquiao trouble. However, if Lopez, the same guy who Berto stopped before he got the fight with Mayweather, which was considered washed up at the time, and then he came back and almost knocked out Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman's supposed to be the one time, but we haven't seen one time in a long time, so he's gonna have to do something this time. Because last time I checked, Lopez, who wasn't even supposed to last for 7 rounds, almost had him out, completely out on his feet. And Pacquiao is definitely, at this age, still a better fighter, a better puncher, and faster, and has ring experience and ring IQ way more than Lopez does at this point. So, like I said, if Pacquiao goes in there with the right mindset, doesn't wait for the right moment till he hurt Keith Thurman and then jump on him, which probably still works, but at the end of the day, like I said, while he waiting, he could get clapped himself, or if he goes in there recklessly, it could be another night just like the Marquez 4th fight. So it all depends on the version of Keith Thurman that shows up that night. Is it that "don't duck me, son" version of Keith? Is it that Professor Keith, where it's no longer pride fighting, it's prize fighting? We just don't know where Keith Thurman's mindset is at this point, because after the layoff, he came back, and some people say he looked good versus Lopez early on, of course, but I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, he should have got Lopez out in less than 4. Berto, a washed up version of Berto, supposedly knocked out Lopez. So all the power that Keith Thurman had, he should have been got Lopez out, but it almost went the other way. Lopez almost had Keith Thurman out. So, like I said, it depends on the version of Keith Thurman that's going to show up, because we all know what version of Pacquiao that's showing up. Because Pacquiao didn't look too bad in his last fight against Broner. I felt like he looked good enough. Of course, it's not the old Pacquiao, but he still has enough to beat a guy like Broner. And on an off night of Keith Thurman, Pacquiao has a good chance of beating that. So if Pacquiao is able to pull this off, it's a good look, a tremendous look for his legacy. And if Keith Thurman wins, then it's definitely a huge popularity boost for Keith Thurman, especially after he lost steam due to the injuries and the layoffs and stuff like that. And also, it's a nice payday. And he always wanted to fight Pacquiao, so hey, he got the best version of Pacquiao, an old version of Pacquiao. But it's not the best version of Keith Thurman either, even though he's in his prime. But like I said, his last fight, he looked horrible, in my opinion. But the main thing I believe is that PBC better make sure that Keith Thurman is willing to fight Errol Spence if he wins versus Pacquiao, because I won't be too surprised if an injury pop up again or he retires after the Pacquiao fight. Like I said, Keith Thurman energy been off. He does not have the same confidence. He does not have the same hunger. But one thing Keith Thurman does have is tremendous heart. But he gonna need more than just heart in an Errol Spence and a Crawford fight. So like I said, PBC better make sure that Keith Thurman is willing to fight Errol Spence after the Pacquiao fight because the man might retire. The way he's talking and the way he's looking, because his energy just seems to be a little off. Like I said, he talking the talk, but he ain't walking the walk. But one way to turn all that around is for one time to take Pacquiao in an impressive fashion. If he's able to do that, then he could get a lot of fans on his side. Also, his confidence level will go up. Another thing is that his popularity will grow up tremendously. And like I said, fighting Pacquiao is one thing, but fighting Errol Spence and Crawford is another thing. Because we all know Pacquiao is at the end of his career, but still, if he's able to knock out Pacquiao, it's still impressive, especially coming off his last performance, even though he was coming off a layoff and an injury. But still, we see Floyd Mayweather coming off layoffs like he never left, but everybody ain't cut the same. So subscribe below if you're trying to get smart about him. Second, if you're trying to get dumb about a minute, don't listen to these casual ass fans. And like we all knew, Pacquiao does still have some common sense. And of course, he did not want no Errol smoke. And he chose the right fight in my opinion, because Keith Thurman at this point is a winnable fight for Pacquiao. Errol Spence is a retirement type of fight. And to be honest, Keith Thurman versus Pacquiao is a good fight. You know, looking at it, style-wise, Pacquiao likes to fight on the outside. Keith Thurman likes to fight on the outside. They both got decent speed and decent power. And Keith Thurman, he has tremendous footwork, but he's more awkward with the way he punches and the way he moves. Pacquiao is more in and out. So we're looking forward for this fight. Definitely Errol Spence versus Porter won't be on pay-per-view due to this fight being on pay-per-view, but it would be smart for PBC to make that fight happen on the same month, so the winner of each fight could fight each other. And peace.